And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Anime God, who asked the question, who would win a fight? Season 3, Izuku Midoriya or Deku versus Chunin exams Naruto. Now, when doing them at these phases in their lives, it's easier to get an idea of what we're dealing with. Izuku Midoriya obviously is the successor of All Might. Now, he didn't have any quirk or abilities naturally, but All Might passed on his ability of All for One to him. Which basically is a strength enhancement kind of quirk. It's more complicated than that. It's physical enhancement to the point where, as it's passed down, it gets stronger and stronger with each user. Now, by season 3, what are we dealing with Izuku Midoriya? Well, he's extremely fast. Now, he's not light speed or even speed of sound fast, but he is, you blink, you'll miss him fast. Like, he can quickly cover ground in no time flat. He's quite intelligent and quite useful on his feet. He's a strategist. He knows how to strategize. He's also quite a skilled hand-to-hand fighter, incorporating his legs in Season 3 to create the shoot style. And still, by the end of Season 3, using his hands as well. So long as he's not overdoing it. By Season 3, he had learned to use full cowling, which basically mitigated a lot of the power of One for All. So it wouldn't hurt his body continuously. Or every time you use it, I should say. That said, Izuku doesn't really have any abilities past that. Now, if he has to, Midoriya Deku could go to 100% full power and like use his arm or something like that. Problem is, he will break his arm. He will break whatever limb he's using at 100% power. He's just not capable of handling it. But in a desperate pinch, he could definitely use it. Naruto Uzumaki by the Chunin exams. Now, by Chunin exams, we'll use basically by the whole Neji fight with Gaara. At that point, Naruto is a seasoned genin. He's not an exceptionally skilled fighter, though he's a capable hand-to-hand fighter. Clearly, he has the Shadow Clone, Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu on his side. He can make thousands of clones. He has the Summoning Jutsu for Toads, Substitution Jutsu, Transformation Jutsu. And by the end of the Chunin exams, he was able to control, on some level, the Nine-Tails Fox Chakra. He was at least able to activate it and use it. Not in like a tail form or anything like that, but he was able to wrap himself around it and allow it to give him an immense amount of power and speed. So if these two met in an actual fight, who would win? Let's assume this is taking place in a world where they're both actually squaring off in the Chunin exams, and they go toe-to-toe. Naruto would probably be the aggressor. Deku would likely blitz in and just, clobber him. Now, in terms of how comparable Deku's speed is to someone else, he's more than likely faster than Kiba. He's probably faster than a lot of people. The question would actually be, is he faster than Lee? Would be a perfect comparison for Deku in this case. Would he be faster than Lee? Well, certainly not Lee at full power. Using the Hidden Lotus, no. Or using the primary or the there's a primary and there's Hidden. Using a Hidden Lotus with the other gates open, no. Using the primary Lotus, probably not as well. But the primary Lotus is that just a technique? So the question is he comparable to Lee with the weights on or with the weights off? That's what we got to consider here in terms of his speed. As far as we can tell, he's not as fast as Lee is with the weights off. Lee literally looked like he was moving Dragon Ball Z levels of speed. Clearly he wasn't, but he was disappearing literally in the blink of an eye. And it took a massive amount of reflexes to counter that in Gaara's part. Like, we saw him just disappearing, without a trace, like a ninja would. So as fast as Midoriya is using full cowling at that point, he's not that fast. I do think, however, he's probably comparable to just base form Lee at that point. So really, Naruto would be facing off essentially against someone who's as fast as base form Lee. The difference is that he does not have the level of combat skill that Lee has. Like, he's not as good as a hand-to-hand fighter, Midoriya. So unlike Lee, who just block countered and flipped Naruto, Midoriya would definitely have to contend a bit more with Naruto, especially when he spams the Shadow Clone Jutsu and just, makes like a couple dozen clones. Midoriya is going around, and he's getting most of these clones, but enough clones are there to overwhelm him to some degree. That being said, between his shoot style and his, standard fist, he's able to stave off most of the Naruto clones. Until Naruto uses a substitution jutsu at one point, substituting him with the real Naruto. The clone comes in, and that's something Naruto would do. He would substitute himself with a clone and vice versa. So he takes the actual hit from Midoriya, so the clone doesn't pop. And then all of a sudden, the clone of Naruto comes around and hits Midoriya square in the face. So Deku goes and hits the wall. Deku gets back up, though. Naruto is tricky and has enough experience and abilities, just without like the Rasengan or anything like that, to definitely put up a solid fight. The problem, and he's got enough endurance to keep up with Midoriya. The problem here is, though, Midoriya is still naturally faster than Naruto. He's gonna just hit harder because of his full cowling, and he's naturally faster. So Naruto's trickier and he's got more skills on call, so it's gonna be a duking out battle here. Naruto, though, eventually says they're both tiring out, though. So Naruto goes into his final backup reserve there with the Fox Chakra, goes into the Fox's Chakra, and he goes to talk about it. And they basically, they go again. Naruto's now keeping pace with Midoriya, and Midoriya's like, I had no choice. He's like, Detroit, smash! 1 for all, 100%! And basically, 1 for all, 100% versus Naruto, and they just clash, boom! And basically, you get that explosion like you get Neji versus Naruto, and these two, and basically the dust clears, and you get Naruto pretty much passed out on the ground. Midoriya's arm is just shot, gone. It's like, sorry about that. I guess I overdid it. Don't worry. We'll both get out of here, and we'll get out of here, and then and all of a sudden, boom! Naruto comes up and does the uppercut. It's a clone, like it was with Neji. Ultimately, the problem here for Deku is Naruto has too many abilities. Again, remember, we're doing Season 3 Deku. Before anyone tries to cast, that's not how we're going to... Remember, it is Season 3 Deku we're talking about. Now, again, if you have a different opinion, that's great. Love to hear it. But remember, we are using the Season 3 and Chunin exams. The problem here for Deku is Naruto, if he taps into the Kurama's Chakra, which he would be capable of doing at this point, he didn't even bother summoning a Toad in this fight. Naruto is capable of tapping into the chakra at this point. He could easily equal, if not surpass, Midoriya in physical abilities. Add on to the fact that he has actual ninjutsu techniques to add on to factor into that, and Midoriya for a long haul fight would definitely be losing. Midoriya's got great willpower. His endurance is pretty solid, but Naruto being an Uzumaki, having the Nine-Tailed Fox, and having ninjutsu on his side, gives Naruto the edge in this fight. So I'm going Chunin exams Naruto over Season 3 Deku. But let me know what you think. Do you think there's a way that Deku would legitimately win the fight? And I'm not saying he loses every version of the fight. I think there's a version of the fight where he just clocks Naruto out cold, honestly. But I think I think the majority, I was about to say 9 times out of 10, but not quite that big a percentage. But the majority of the time, it will be Naruto who wins the fight, I think. So, my vote goes to Naruto, but let me know in the comments below if you think different. And if you do, that's cool. Let's have a fun conversation about it. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I will see you later, because I got a what if to do, because it is the week of what ifs. So, keep your eyes out for that. And to kind of quote Nappa, hey, kids, like more Naruto what ifs? Well, let's get down to business.